Hi, I'd like to begin a series on string crossing techniques. We're going to start at the very beginning. If you are a beginner, and this is of interest to you, then at this point you should only be using maybe the middle third of your bow. Some teachers will put tapes on the middle third, little pieces of tape, maybe here and here, allowing you only to bow between the two pieces of tape. And that's partly so you don't go crooked, but if you, or not parallel to the bridge. But if you think about geometry, if I'm near the frog, watch how much motion my tip has to do to string cross from the D to A. If I'm at the tip, watch how much motion my hand has to do to cross from the D to the A. If I'm in the middle, it's a much smaller motion. I'm teeter-tottering in the center. So we're not going from D to A, we're going to go from A to E. But anyway, tapes in the middle of your bow, or just remember, have a concept of the middle third of your bow. And what we're going to do first is just play A twice, stop, look at the line from the bow to the forearm. And it's really this angle, the upper arm, should be in the same line, or almost the same line as the bow. So Galamian called this part, if you were in the middle of the stick, he called this, and this the square. You see a square created here and coming across with the violin. So there's the square. So if I'm on A with the square, then I will stop and roll my whole arm. Watch the back drop. And if you look at it from the front, the forearm or the upper arm, bicep, and the stick are basically in the same line. I go a little above it. The same line as the stick, I should say. I mean, an exact same line would probably be there. I stay a little bit above it, but stop and roll that whole unit. You do not leave the elbow behind. The whole unit drops to E. And you can do E twice. Stop, roll back. Do A twice. Stop, roll back. Now, if you are doing Suzuki Book 1, you could think twinkle, stop, roll, add your first finger, stop. Now, roll back to the A string and add, if you're doing block fingerings, you add 1, 2, and 3. If you're doing independent fingerings, you add 3, and then think about the high 2 coming next. I won't talk about that here, that's a different video. So you just did a long E, you roll back to A string, third finger, small bow still, stop, roll the whole thing as a unit to the E string, stop, roll back to A, stop, roll back to E, back to A, third finger. So I'll do it from this angle. Stop, roll, roll as a unit. Stop, don't go too far in the tip right now. Back up. You'll notice that I played my half notes, da da dun 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 dun. I stopped, I didn't go too far. It's because remember we have the tape on our stick. If we play full half notes, half note, you'll get much farther in the stick and then have to roll farther. It's okay, when you start practicing the longer stroke and more rotation, but in the beginning it's just in the middle. You stop and you roll completely to your new string. If you hear this, it means I hit open A and I didn't roll before I started moving, so there was a motion and a roll at the same time. I hear this all the time with beginners. You create two notes at once. You do not want to hear that. Stop. Clean roll. Understand? Same thing when you roll back. Clean. Get from one string to the other. Right now you're memorizing the feel of the new string. Okay? Suzuki used to say, knowledge is not skill. Knowledge plus 10,000 repetitions creates skill. So 10,000, of course, is an ambiguous number. It just means a lot, right? So that it becomes automatic execution, so you do not have to think, how do I get to my new string? So you turn this into an exercise that you do over and over and over and over until it's so automatic, it's like tying your shoelaces. You don't have to stop and think, how do I make a loop? How do I make a loop? It's just automatic. You can do it in front of 1,000 people. Even if you had stage fright, you could still tie your shoes in front of them. That's automatic execution. So do your string crossing, stop and roll until you can hit your new string without bumping the old string. Okay? Good luck.